Good morning, the Chairman of Sustainable Energy Development Authority, Ms. Catherine, and my Deputy, Yang Berhormat Munira, my Special Officer, Yang Berhormat Adumage Gasing, Rajesh Vishakaran, Energy Commission Chairman, Tuan Fauzi, Dato' Fauzi, and also Tan Sri Ahmad Zaidi. And ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everyone. Because I am just appointed as the minister, actually I'm a very, very casual person. I am just hoping that this town hall would be a very casual town hall where you talk to not your leaders, but a partner of yours in renewable energy industry. But before, thank you. My name is Yeo Bee Yin. I have broke the record of the country of having the longest ministry name in the history of the country. I remember 2 days ago, I went to a French event. The French ambassador told me that it took 2 days for him to memorize the name of my ministry with the right sequence. So the current sequence is this. It's the Ministry of Energy, Technology, Science, Climate Change and Environment. We may change the sequence just so that we can get the right acronym, so that everyone can remember at the end of my tenure, at least to remember what minister I am. But one thing I want to tell you is that the new government will focus on renewable energy. Why? As an energy minister, what we want is affordable, reliable, sustainable, and also long-term energy security for our country. But if we look at the trend for the past 2 decades, we are seeing, because of cost consideration, we are seeing a lot of coal-fired power plant coming up, mushrooming from 8.3% in 1996 to 42.5% in 2016. If we do not put a stop in it, there will be more to come. And a lot of people say that because it is cheap, therefore we are going ahead. And I want to tell you that because we do not produce coal in Malaysia, so for long-term security, one day if there is a glut, if there is certain things that is happening that beyond our control, our country will be in trouble because we are relying on something that we do not have. That is the reason why renewable energy is something the government wants to move forward to, so that in long term, whatever that happens outside the country, that we are secured. That is the reason we need to start today. And I also want to say this, is that because energy cost also relies on a lot of, 30% of the energy cost is actually on capacity. And for certain reasons that the previous government, we have approved, the government has approved a lot of IPP, independent power producers contract, through direct negotiation, direct award to a lot of them, and that it built up our capacity, and then the users need to pay for that capacity. Because of this, that the new government actually are reviewing many of these independent power producers contracts. You all love it because it's your competitors, yeah? This independent power producers contract that is directly awarding to non-deserving companies, we are reviewing them, especially those that bring no cost implication to the government. I want to say this is that we have actually decided to cancel 4 of them. You will hear news in time to come. For a reason that because Malaysians do not need that many power plants at this moment, we have a reserve margin of 30% at this moment. And many other countries around the world, even the developed countries, do not have this 30%. And the users need to pay for this 30% every time they pay for the electricity bill. There are 2 things that we can come out from it. Is one, we can afford to cancel some of the IPP contracts that has no cost implication to the government. Second is that we have time to develop a new energy industry, and that is renewable energy industry. And there is another thing that is very, very close to my heart. You know, in 2013, when I was just elected, I went to rural areas in Sarawak. I see many people that still do not have direct access to electricity. Of course, the government will tell you that 98.9% of the people in Malaysia has access to electricity, and that only 1% do not have access to electricity. Sometimes I find that lawmakers or people in the high look at the numbers, look at statistics like they are not a persons. But when you go down to the ground and you feel that people in Malaysia, in such a country, we are a middle-income country where we still have kids that do not have light at night to read and to study. And that is not reasonable. And I know that solar power, micro hydro will be the solution to these kids so that we bring light to the rural areas in Sabah and Sarawak and in Peninsular Malaysia. And because of that reason that I am here today, because of that reason that I want to be my first town hall as a Minister of Energy, Technology, Science, Climate Change and Environment, that I want to do a renewable energy town hall. Because I know renewable energy will be the solution for our long-term energy security and affordability, as well as to the rural people. In the old time, when we have a problem, the government will create an agencies or create a GLCs to solve the problem. In the old time, when we have a problem, the government will say, hey, let's start a company that focus on that thing. We pump in money to that company, and hopefully that company will help to solve the people's problem. The time of this has passed. I believe in the market force, and I believe in businesses, because only through a good market and only through an ecosystem where businesses can thrive, that technology and innovation will come and solve our people problem. That is why I'm here to listen to you. What do you need from me so that you can thrive in your industry? Because when you thrive, the country thrives. And in the past, this is also one thing. Many of you here are coming with your name cards and proposals. I know that. Don't worry. You have place to put your proposals. You have place to put your cards. But also do not worry if you do not see me personally. Because in the old time, knowing who is important to get a government project, knowing who is important to get a quota in the feed-in tariff, knowing who is important to get your business through. But I want to tell you this, at least in my ministry, you do not need to know me. You only need to know how. That is why even my good friend calling me after I am appointed as as a minister, I told him, no, you come to the town hall. Because knowing me will not give you an advantage in any project. And I want to tell you a secret. I am not in the tender board. So guys, make sure you know how. Make sure that the role of a government is not to do business. The role of government is to create an environment for the most competitive business to thrive. And that is my role in the ministry. So do not be disappointed if you think that you are at disadvantage because I cannot arrange for a one-to-one meeting with your company. Do not be afraid. You are still at the level playing field when it comes to anything that we are open for tender. There is only open tender in the ministry. So I really want to leave this to you, and I'm really here to listen to you. We have Sustainable Energy Development Authority, of which I have heard some of the feedback. But I want to hear a lot more. I want to know how we can do that. I want to listen to you before I come back to you again with what is the government plan. Overall idea is this, is that we want to create an environment where our business can innovate, our business can invest. The projects become bankable. The projects become something that is feasible for the company and investor to invest, and that we have a good ecosystem for our renewable energy to grow. Pakatan Harapan Manifesto. I share with you a story. Pakatan Harapan Manifesto, when we talk about the manifesto in terms of renewable energy, I remember I was telling Dr. Ong Kian Ming, he was drafting this. He said, so we have a goal from energy mix, electricity mix of renewable energy, excluding big hydro. We want to go from 2% at this moment, actually lower than 2%, to 20%. It was very, very high. I told Kim Ming, this is so ambitious. Kim Ming said, it is doable. So once you become government, somebody, the energy minister, will have got to do it. Lo and behold, today, I hope that it is him that becomes the energy minister. But I want to tell you, we have an ambitious plan, and I'm now having the responsibility. I need the idea from you because it is already in the promise, and as a government, we want to fulfill the promise that we have made to the people of Malaysia. We want to increase the renewable energy electricity generation mix from 2% to 20% in times to come. With that, I want to leave the floor to you. Thank you.
Thank you, YB Puan Yeo Bee Yin, for the speech. YB Minister, please kindly to remain on stage for us to convene the town hall session. Thank you. And now I would like to invite YB Puan Isna Raisa Munira Majlis, Deputy Minister of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change, and Ms. Catherine Ridu, Chief Executive Officer of SEDA Malaysia, to join YB Puan Yeo